Hello and welcome to The Wrong Podcast, a show where we watch and discuss all the films in Lifetime's The Wrong series. I'm Claudia.
I'm Jory.
And today we're discussing The Wrong Teacher, directed as always by David Dakota and written by Robert Dean Klein and not Adam Rockoff, as the Wikipedia page said before I changed it. Jory, what did you think of The Wrong Teacher?
I'm having a hard time with this one because it
Mm-hmm.
flipped back and forth from being like kind of fun to dreadfully boring at certain parts. It was the
Yeah,
one that watching it, I think it felt the most like a cheap movie versus a TV movie, if that makes sense.
huge agree
But
on that.
but I think the stuff that I've grown to expect from these movies are kind of what brought it down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like there is an appeal to the cheapness that we've gotten used to. And I don't even know if it's just like the familiarity of it, but I did appreciate that this movie was trying to do something, you know?
Yeah,
Like there were a lot of I mean like I want to say a lot of interesting shots, but there weren't really. There were just shots that were like thoughtfully crafted,
yeah,
uh, which is not common for this series. So hats off to Terrence Riker, the cinematographer. Uh, and it's a kind of a surreal one though, where like I watched this 2 days ago, and I'm glad I took notes because a lot of this has just slid from my memory. Like I can tell you some of the major beats, but all of it felt so like disconnected. Like one scene to another, it felt like there was so little transition and like cohesiveness. Did you
yeah.
get that feeling, or was it just because I was like a tiny bit residual high?
I definitely got that. I think this one kind of struggled from something that when I've watched bad movies that I started to pick up on, and I would do as like an easy way to get a laugh out of the group of people is you go and cut, because there's very clearly the scene
Yes.
should have ended at some point there, and then you just keep doing it because there was a clear end point. But especially with cheaper movies, especially in the 80s and 90s, you are trying to get to 90 minutes for feature length, and you are doing
Mm-hmm.
whatever you can to pad it out to get there. And some of the stuff in here just felt like it was going on way too long.
Yeah. A lot of really pointless conversations.
Yeah. Especially uh it wasn't ultimately pointless because of the ending sequence, but there was
Mm.
basically no need for her to have a roommate, because that woman
Yeah.
did basically nothing until the end. And her like vaguely she was like, yeah, go on, get out there, go on the date with the cute guy you met. But even then, I don't know if you need a roommate to tell her to do that. You could just like, you get rid of her and she gets like she tries to text Alan Cypher. I'll never remember his actual character's name because that's too cool of a name. She could text him like, hey, let's do something, and he goes, sorry, I'm busy with a photo shoot. And then she goes, I'll go out with that cute guy I met then because he's always ignoring me.
Yeah. Really, like, this character has been done so much better in other movies, like The Wrong Roommate. I'm pretty sure there was like a sister or a friend or something who
Yeah.
occupied this same role, and she didn't feel as superfluous as this roommate. So,
I suppose before
with
we
that,
dig in more into the movie, uh, what kind of predictions and stuff did you have?
I actually did write down predictions this time. Thank you, Sylvie, for reminding me. Um, so, my predictions. As usual, I tried to predict like plot beats. Um, I thought that there would be a singular wrong. Um, I thought the wrong would be a woman, and that the motive is obsession over a student's parent. Because, I mean, we'll discuss this in a moment, but the movie is called The Wrong Teacher. So I assumed that the teacher would be our wrong, right?
Yeah. it
Um,
it ultimately kind of works as the title, but I think if it was like if there's no other movies called The Wrong Blank and made by one director mostly featuring Vivica A. Fox, I think it would work as a title, but because it's movie 9 or whatever in this series, it's not a good name for this.
yeah, I think that it even standalone, I don't really think it works, but that's a debate for later. Um, Vivica is principal again.
Nice.
And my big weird swing, because I love to do a big weird swing. Someone is hit by a car. I don't know why. It just the movie had vehicular homicide energy. Jory, what were your predictions?
I had a similar one. I wasn't sure if it would be a man or woman. I thought it could go either way of a teacher is obsessed with the student's parents. Um Whether the man obsessed with a mom or a woman obsessed with a dad, because I know they're not going to give us a gay wrong. Um
Hmm.
at least yet. I don't know. It could
Not yet.
happen down the line. But I thought that it'd be something like either she's convinced that he or she is convinced that the parent they're obsessed with is like very similar to a partner of theirs that just passed away,
Ooh.
or another one that because they like to do the crazy coincidences. I was thinking it would be more of like along the lines of the first two, where he or she knew that an ex partner's kid goes to a school, and then they got in as a teacher to like do like a weird way to finally make contact with this person they dated, and it would have been enough of a gap of time where the person would not think anything of seeing them, and they'd be like,
Hmm.
oh, that's like they dated them in like early college, like late high school, and had like a bad teenage breakup that the the not wrong adult would think nothing of it, while the other one is like still obsessed with them 15 years later or whatever. Um,
Hmm.
and I also thought that there would be like mostly stalking and not any sort of like sexual tension.
Hmm.
I thought it'd just be like a classic obsession more than anything else. And boy,
Mm. See, here's what's interesting to me. Both you and I said the wrong teacher isn't going to prey on a student because you and
yeah,
I both have seen fucking 7 movies at this point and know that there is a line that they don't cross.
yeah.
And both of us were wrong, basically, except it was the other way around where the student is preying on the teacher, which, there's a lot to say about like I don't know, victim blaming and uh male male victims of statutory rape and stuff, but not that
Yeah.
it's really that case because he's 18.
This movie rides that line, and
Mm-hmm.
there was a specific point to where I was like trying to piece together how much time had passed, because he's 18. The opening scene, we we can assume once we get into the movie before they confirm it, is the previous woman he was obsessed with. And
Mm-hmm.
I start thinking once he gets to the point of like, yes, that's exactly the situation that's happened. It was another teacher. I'm like, how long has he been 18? Um, because
Yeah, that's a good
it
point.
it's the beginning of the school year. Maybe it happened towards the end of the school year. I don't want to dwell on this too much because I don't think the movie wants me to think about it. But and the nonchalant way that people talk about make me think he was still 18, but like still like you're playing a little weird, too close to the nose of time.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think the fact that they don't say it probably says a lot, um, in the like don't think about it kind of way. I don't
yeah,
know. I don't know if the writer really thought about it that hard.
no.
Yeah. So Jory, do we want to get into the intro to 1996's Scream, directed by Wes Craven? I'm sorry, The Wrong Teacher, directed by David Dakota.
You stole a joke I was gonna do at the end. Not Scream, but something else. We'll get there. But the movie opens up with a woman in like a nightie laying on a couch. There's a glass of wine on the table. She's just kind of like relaxing when she gets a text message in a strange app that says, "Can I come over?" And she's like, "No, leave me alone." And starts like thinking, "Oh, someone's in the house." And he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna come over. I need you." And she's like spooked and still looking around the house.
Mhm.
And she starts getting more like obsessed messages as she's stressed and looking around. She gets a text, an image message from the number that appears to be her laying in bed in her underwear. And
In kind of fucking scandalous
yeah.
underwear too. Her ass was completely out.
Yeah, I typed in all caps ass in my notes because I'm an adult. And then in a move that I was like, if my girlfriend says something, I need to say out loud why I'm doing this. I rewound a couple times, not because I needed to look at her butt some more, but because it was on screen enough that was like, seems kind of weird. And then I went back to like, okay, I think the implication there is supposed to be she wasn't aware the photo was being taken because
Yeah.
really quickly it'd be like I think it changes the tone of it a little bit of like it's still bad if it's like, hey, I took this picture when you weren't looking when you were over, but it's more for the scene if it seems like she's like someone's been stalking her and she's like just spooked walking throughout the house and then she's grabbed as she
Yep.
looks into the camera. And we get a
Cut to
title card
title
drop.
card. Also, here's something weird. Um, so I looked through Jane Mulcahy's video on the Wrong series again, not just like up to what we had seen already, and I had gotten to the beginning of this one when I turned it off, but I saw that her version for some reason had a subtitle: "The Wrong
Oh.
Teacher: Back to School." Like what the fuck
Oh,
is with that?
interesting. That's very like 80s canon films like you something I found when I was like you watch a lot of horror movies, especially like Italian horror movies and stuff from the 80s. You'll like
Mhm.
look up the title and there's like 7 different names for the movie cuz every like it would be released as a different name in like the Northeast versus California versus Florida versus Canada versus Mexico.
Yeah. Yep, that makes sense. I know that Lifetime does that a lot where they rename movies a bunch.
I know that's
Um
I believe that's the case with the wrong movies that aren't done by David Dakota featuring Viv K. Fox
mm,
in some capacity is that they
yeah,
were named the wrong blank and then in re-airing and distribution they had the name changed.
as they should. Back off. So um we meet Jessica Morris's character. This is the Jessica Morris movie once again. We honestly, can I say I really like Jessica Morris?
She's really good at Lifetime movies and she gives like that extra like 10% for these.
Yeah,
I like
she's a
uh
competent like TV movie actress.
I will say especially for later in this, not even that much later, but like I said it one it was The Wrong Man, and that one made sense because I believe that man is her husband now. But
Yeah.
in that, she had really good chemistry with him, and in here, she had very good one-sided chemistry before things fell apart with Philip McElroy, the secret fourth McElroy, who plays the student. She
The
had very
secret
good
30 under 30.
really good like chemistry with him. Like she seemed very into him, and like it seemed convincing from her side, not so much from his side.
Yeah, I agree. Just solid actress. She seems like a nice woman too.
Yeah, I remember I was looking at her like Instagram uh after one of these movies, and it was just filled with like family photos and stuff of them like going on trips. And
Oh,
it's like, oh, that seems very sweet. That it's like that's what you're posting instead of just promotional stuff and like boring celebrity actor stuff.
yeah, normal ass person.
Yeah. And she's in a job. It's something I think about as like TV actors, especially like soap opera or like Lifetime movie actors, is they make a living, and they get to do what they love in a medium where people who are making a ton of money, they can't just live their lives like normal. She could get away with going grocery shopping, doing anything like normal.
Yeah, the only people recognizing her are us.
Yeah, yeah. And we're staring across at the In-N-Out with our mouths wide open.
So Jessica Morris's character Charlotte is a writer and a teacher.
Yes.
She has a newspaper article written about her. Local teacher finds romance in book deal, which like basically says that a major publisher reached out to her about some of her writing and wants to publish her. Which this whole plot line is so superfluous and confused me.
Yeah, it seemed to only exist to set up the meeting and vaguely have it make sense that she's also a teacher at a high school teaching Romeo and Juliet, even though
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you, but Romeo and Juliet was taught to us freshman year of high school, and
Same.
those were at least seniors, possibly second or third year seniors.
Super seniors.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. It felt like very weird. It felt very forced. It felt like when they brought up Kafka in The Wrong Remain.
Yeah.
um,
I made sure to get a screen cap of her story because I paused it and I said to my girlfriend, I want to know if the story in any way is going to mimic this movie, like
mhm.
if there's going to be similar beats or anything. Basically what happens is she just revises her book to swap the age around. But uh, I want to read it out, and then I was also thinking, because you covered the kind of books that she would wrote, what you thought of her intro. So
Yeah, for those unfamiliar, I hosted a podcast for a couple of years, Three Little Words, where we read and ranked romance novels on their steaminess, dreaminess, and meminess. And so I'm quite familiar with this genre.
I apologize for anyone who is listening to this podcast going, thank God I don't have to worry about fucking books. But what we got from it, and I thought it was gonna end up being like a lorem ipsum when I paused it, but it's actually like
I
someone
thought so
wrote
too.
out something. But it's chapter 1. The first thing Bran de Steele noticed was the wind blowing off the moors. It carried the scent of heather, history, and something else. Something strange but exciting, a distant hint of perfume. At 52, the hunter carried himself with the vigor of youth. High-booted footfalls barely making a sound, he hurried up the hillside toward the clatter of horses' hooves moving swiftly overland. Even in modern Scotland, one took care in the Highlands not to be too familiar with strange company. Not knowing who urged their beasts to such effort, it seemed prudent to proceed with caution. He landed chest down at the edge of the hill overlooking Allison Moor. On the fainty, muddy ribbon of road below, he saw the approaching horses leading a small carriage. The benchboard carried a man and a woman riding with a nonchalant aspect that belied their furious speed. Brand could see that if they were not careful at the bend, it would surely topple the cart and the passengers to their doom. For a moment, he considered staying hidden. Oh, hidden is missing the I, and there's no red squiggle under there. She has a bad program that's checking that for her.
The AI.
In the brambles sense, really, what transpired below would be none of his true concern. It would delay his hunt. Still, if anything did happen, there was a lass involved. One thing Brand could not ignore was the plight of a lass in trouble. This one surely bound to be soon. Is that how those stories generally kind of start?
Not really. It does. So it has a romance novel feel, but it has a fake romance novel feel. This is how men who don't read romance novels think romance novels are written. Romance novels are written like real books, surprisingly. And I know that this is just like, you're not even going to read this, really. But the fact that they put effort into it is very funny.
Yeah.
I give it a 0 for steaminess, a 1 for dreaminess, and like a 3 for meminess. Really like the name Brand Steel and how the narration refers to lasses.
The Brand Steel feels like a very like that's the character who engages in the most subtle homoeroticism in a David Fincher film.
Yeah, David, get on this one.
Yeah.
So Jessica Morris, Charlotte, has a flaky boyfriend. He is some sort of photographer. He doesn't seem to really have like a niche that he fills. There is a couple of scenes where it looks like he's photographing objects for like, I don't know, maybe stock images or advertisements or something.
Yeah,
because it's like the object against a white background.
Yeah, he says his commercial work funds his passion, which is cityscapes. And when he says that, it's a picture of, I think, a bottle of whiskey, a like book, and a short glass of whiskey. I don't know what kind of commercial work he's doing by himself at 2 a.m. with the photos.
Yeah, why is he like in his studio at all hours of the day? Like, you know, they seem to have kind of a rocky relationship, but is it that rocky that you are like finding excuses to be at the studio at 1 a.m.? Anyway, that's my photographer expertise as well. A lot of expertise from me for some reason in the first 10 minutes of this movie.
One movie will be The Wrong Wrestler, and I'll be able to take care of it.
Yeah, there we go. So Jessica Morris is having some writer's block on this, on the first chapter of her book, like 4 paragraphs in. Rough buddy, been there.
Especially after she got the deal, which is like, did they like your previous work, or did they just like hear you're a writer and want to help the teacher out?
I have to assume that she had some previous work, or I don't know, maybe they checked her out on AO3. So to try and break her writer's block, she goes to a bookstore that is a real bookstore in San Francisco. I did not write the name of it down.
I assumed it was the same store from The Wrong Child.
It was not. This is like an actual bookstore and not like a curio shop or whatever the hell Vivica A. Fox had
Okay.
in The Wrong Child.
There is
And
something that I also grabbed from this bookstore in a shot that, hold on, let me get it in here. Because I paused the movie so I could show my girlfriend how smart I am. Uh, which I noticed it despite it being super out of focus, and I have a feeling the rest of the rack is other films. There.
no, Jory has shown me a blurry out of focus rack of DVDs that one of them that is facing towards the audience is very distinctly the cover of David Dakota's A Talking Cat.
I have
That's so good eye on that.
I have a feeling that the other movies on that rack are also his films. Because I
Has
also
to be.
imagine if it's the same situation as the shop from The Wrong Child, he was friends with them and he puts them in his movies. He's probably friends with the people that do this and they probably sell his DVDs.
Makes sense. Because both Elle and the Evergreens, when we were watching this movie the other night, were like, "Oh my god, I've been there."
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's like in San Francisco, I think. The store is City Lights Books.
Oh.
Real place. It seems to be nice. So she meets this. I wrote down meets creep in bookstore. This guy, this younger guy, who starts hitting on her. I don't even really remember what he said, but the gist of it was like, you know, she mentioned that she's a writer and she has writer's block, and he was like, "Oh, that's cool. Do you want to go to a bar later?"
Yeah, he's like he picks her up because his like mom or grandma or someone loved those kind of novels, so he's also looking at them
Mm,
and bumps into her. And
yeah, yeah.
the thing with him is I also would not think he is an 18-year-old high school student because this man is like 26 years old at least.
Yes, I
He
agree.
also because my girlfriend watches a lot of reality shows that are in like LA and California. That's not that man's original cheeks and nose. No shame to anyone who gets plastic surgery done, whatever makes you feel better about yourself. But most like 18-year-olds don't have that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. So later that night, she does for some reason meet him at this bar. You know it's a bar because behind the like counter is a big neon sign that says bar, just in case you forgot.
She
Um,
because I wrote it down, it's one of my I think it might be my favorite interaction in the whole movie. Is her roommate talks her into going because she's having the block and whatever, and she should go out because this is nice, like hot young guy, and her friend always gets bad dates, so one of us should get good dates, whatever. But she says something of like having trouble with your sex book. It's like holy shit.
based of her.
And Charlotte says it's a seedy yet tasteful encounter, which seedy makes it sound worse than a sex book.
Yeah. I would say, like, if I were her, I would have said, like, sensual or something like that. Uh, or
Seedy feels
spicy.
like a Chuck Tingle book without the like fun.
Yeah. 100% that's true. So at this bar, we will note, Jessica Morris has commented that he looks pretty young. Um, but he orders a drink at the bar. The bartender checks his ID and is like, "You're good." And he's like, "See, I'm good. I'm good." Um, and she takes him back to the school that she works at in order to like pick up something.
Yeah,
And then they end up having sex in her classroom.
they
And
sure
it's a little
do.
fucking risque.
Yeah, she's
They
showing like way more leg and stuff than I thought, and it went on for quite a while.
Yeah, there was a lot more thrusting than there usually is in these.
Yeah. Well, that's
David was towing the line on this one.
that's him showing off his talent for unblocking things, because I wrote it down. I am super talented at unblocking things, which is delivered as a like sexy line, but I just think that sounds horrific. That's
Yeah.
like fucked up, dude. That's weird.
um, God, that's so much. I also wrote down here his acting is so bad.
Yeah, I was like, they have like no spark between them. How is this happening? Like,
He's
he's
arguably the
giving,
worst actor that we've seen in this franchise.
yeah. At least when it comes to like main roles,
Yeah, yeah, because most of these guys are professionals, but
he has like no
ooh, this guy
credits.
and the wrong child.
I looked up like his credits. He's in like nothing. He's done some like
Yeah,
shorts and some like web series and like super obscure stuff, and then he's done like a couple Lifetime movies, but this is his first like more real thing.
yeah, I'm always surprised by when like the leads in these movies don't do anything else. Like the wrong student, Yvonne Friedman, just seemingly stopped acting, which is sad because she elevated that text. Anyway, there we go. But enough about the best actress in this franchise. Um, the next, ooh, hang on. I wrote down here she tells him to buzz off, but I don't remember where that occurs. Is it like right after sex?
I believe so, because she's just trying to be like, it's not normally the thing I do. I'm not interested in
Mm,
doing more. It's a one time thing, so buzz off. But I
yeah,
remember it being
she
kind of
lets
like
him down kind of
playful.
harshly. Yeah. Tell me about Jason Shane Scott in this one, aka Alan Cipher.
He's he's a photographer, and he he's wearing an absolutely like ridiculous necklace when we see. uh she like wants to like see him more, and they're just like arguing and stuff, and she's like, well, yeah, I guess I got better things to do. So she like, we get that establishment that she's on the rocky relationship, so we feel less bad about her like cheating on him, sort of, in a way. They've
Hmm.
seemed, what later she says they're on a break, so it's like they're like vaguely broken up. They have like an on again off again thing, but there's never like a clear thing of like what has him flaky exactly. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it seems like it's like, oh, he's just like going on casual dates with other women, but he says later that like never cheat on her, or he's like married to work, but he seems very accessible at the job at all times, so she could that like he could just be like, yeah, come hang out with me while I take photos or something. It's very odd, like what odds they're at the moment.
Yeah. I agree. Their relationship seemed very poorly defined overall. Um Also when we first see him, he's in his studio with like a baseball bat, just kind of like swinging it around a bit.
Oh, that's Schrodinger's baseball bat.
Do you
I
mean
didn't put that
Chekhov's
together.
baseball bat?
Shit, yeah, Chekhov's baseball bat. Not it is or is not a baseball bat. Fuck. That's much funnier.
The bat
Chekhov's baseball
exists in a
bat.
superposition of being corked and not corked.
Yeah.
Then we
The
get the first day of school.
yeah, there's a line that I from the roommate, because I'm just fascinated with everything the roommate does in this movie, where she's like, can I borrow that green summery dress I love? I've got a date. And then later we see her, presumably after the date or on the date. She's not wearing a green summery dress. Uh, but yeah, Charlotte like starts revising her story, and when she goes to school, we get my favorite, which is Eric Roberts is not on the same set as the other actors in the scene.
Mm, yeah.
Because they keep doing a shot reverse shot, and they'll show a shot of Vivica A. Fox and Jessica Morris talking to each other, and they're in like the same frame, and then they'll cut to Eric Roberts, who is in an empty school hallway, and they're having a full conversation back and forth between the three of them, but he's definitely not on set with them.
That makes sense. I didn't really think about it until you mentioned it.
There is a shot later where they are in the same frame together, but I think they did camera trickery to do that. I think they like spliced the shot. But I do think it's fun that Vivica is the principal again. I wonder if she is the same principal. I didn't do enough to checking or care if it's the same school or not. Probably not, but they're in California. It could be.
It is certainly the same set. But this is actually different, and I'm going to go over to our Vivica A. Fox career list. Because this time, she is not a principal, but a vice principal.
Oh, I thought Eric Roberts was the vice principal. I got to swap there. Good.
I think that she's either also vice principal, or she takes over later on.
That makes sense.
But at least one point, she is referred to as a vice principal. Maybe Vivica's character in the last movie is also the principal.
Okay, yeah. So she starts talking to class, and that they're going to cover Romeo and Juliet. So on the first day of school, they're already, I don't know, even in college, the first day of class was never like, okay, let's get into it.
Yeah.
But she's
first
like,
day you do the syllabus.
We're going to cover Romeo and Juliet, and then a student goes, plays are boring. Can't we just watch the movie? And she goes, fuck, fine. You still need to read, so we'll read it. Read the first act, watch the first act of the movie, compare and contrast. It's like, Romeo and Juliet isn't even that long. That's like...
It's not.
That's like 2 days of reading, and then you watch 20 minutes of a movie?
Can I be the devil's advocate here?
Ooh, what's that?
This kid's right. It's a play. It was meant to be seen.
That's true.
Maybe not the movie, but like I don't think it's a bad idea to have them watch it through. So Jory, who shows up here?
Oh, it's the guy she hooked up with, and I love her response because she's like, "What is this adult man, graduated from school, working man doing at my job?" Because she has the like reaction and talks to him like it would be if a guy you went on a date with just showed up at your job randomly the next day.
I hadn't even considered that. I would be fucking concerned too.
Yeah. And this is where she finds out that he's a new student in the class, and he's also 18. And he's like, yeah, we get to spend more time together now. Isn't this great?
He also asked to see her book.
Oh, yeah. Which... I don't know if I'd ever, after one date, be that interested in someone's book. I'd need like a second date at least. But like, okay, I can. I've gotten over the first date jitters. I'm of sound mind. I'm ready to jump into their writing or creative work. I'm sorry to any women who I said I'd do a podcast and they listened to it immediately after.
See, I can't do that type of date. I only really have dated people that I knew for a while beforehand and were friends with. So that sort of thing would already be, yeah, this kid's creepy. and Eric Roberts knows it.
Yeah. Eric Roberts immediately was like, "You fucked that kid, didn't you?"
He really does.
Because he sees them like close talking together. And it's like, it makes you wonder: is this like a common thing at the school? Because he's on it like way more than I feel like he should be for seeing them talk close.
Yeah.
Like, I think her being like, "Well, he's new to the school and stuff. He needs help." I think that's enough of a cover that like, even if nothing happened between them or anything, or if he's just being like a little weirdly interested in her, like not that they knew each other before, it'd be a good enough like, yeah, that makes sense. But he's like, "No, I'm not one of those guys who finds out that a teacher slept with one of her students and goes, 'That's badass.' I think it's wrong." And it's like, how often is this happening?
Yeah, Degrassi ass school. He sees this conversation, then he has a conversation with her later, and he's like, "What do you think of Mr. I don't know, Roberts or something?" I think I've just got Eric Roberts' name in my head. Whatever. What do you think of Chris? And we haven't said his name yet. No. His name is Chris. And Jessica Morris, Charlotte, is like, he's fine, essentially. And Eric Roberts is like, "Do you think he'll fit in here?" And she's like, "Yeah, no, you should, yeah, he'll, yeah." And like, so in The Wrong Student, there were a lot of points where we were like, okay, you have to tell someone about this, teacher. This is the opportunity. Like, in The Wrong Student, that guy wasn't really given the opportunity to mention this to somebody. Like, nobody basically directly confronted him. But Jessica Morris, you are like kind of in danger here. I don't know if it's because I see this guy and point at him and go, bad guy, bad guy, bad guy, he's the bad guy. But like, if that happened to me, which it wouldn't, because I have because I'm not attracted to people who are that young. I feel like I would be like, "Hey, you don't even have to say anything. You can be like, this kid is like weirdly into me. He was already like hitting on me on the first day in a way that made me really uncomfortable. Can we like move him to a different class?"
Yeah, I feel she does have like a easy out there. Like she could even just be like, "I actually have more students than I can handle." There's a guy with a full arm tattoo in my classroom. I made sure to write that down because I thought it was very funny.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah. It's another part where I rebound to be like, "Look!" But he is like, I just can't handle. It's like, it's right over the capacity. Maybe it's California. They have way more worker protections than most places do. She's like, the teachers union says I can only do this, whatever. I imagine she's probably working off of, "Oh, he's going to say that we had sex and I'm going to lose my job forever."
And I get that. But
I think the patented wrong franchise character looking into the camera going, "I'm 18, nothing illegal is happening on that front," also vaguely saves her from losing her job forever at the like third act of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, this is like a nothing scene in the grand plot of the film, but it made me laugh a lot, so I want to bring it up. Where there's like this guy harassing these two like students, where this guy is harassing this girl in the hallway, and Jessica Morris comes up and like tries to break it up, and this guy like grabs her by the shoulders and is starting to like yell at her. And Chris, the wrong he's not the wrong student, but anyway, Chris like runs up and like grabs this guy, and he says, "You're gonna rough up my teacher, huh? A woman?"
Yeah.
with such conviction.
It's such an odd scene because uh I'm sure something like that would happen. I cannot imagine a student doing this to like a
Yeah.
teacher just like casually on campus, like, and in a way that like the scene feels like it's guy harassing a woman outside of a bar because
Yeah.
he, they're like a person wouldn't normally act like that unless they like their inebriated inhibition or lowered whatever, so they're gonna act out differently than they would, and then someone steps in. A like 17-year-old hitting on a girl in a hallway. I don't, maybe my experiences in high school are different, but a teacher comes by and you're talking to someone like, oh fuck, I gotta move.
Yeah. I also, you know, I can't imagine this happening to Jessica Morris as a teacher specifically because she's young and hot.
Yeah, that too. I thought maybe this would like kind of pay off in a oh she's not too bad, which she like thinks him, but the entire time since he shows up to school, she's like teetering between this guy's nice and this guy is scary. My life is gonna get ruined as soon as people find out.
Yeah. Which is reasonable.
Yeah, we after that we get her like sitting at home thinking about it when she gets a phone call from him as he's like sweaty, shirtless, working out. Thank you for the subtle homoeroticism. And
Thank you, David.
he sends her a picture of them at the like bar that who took it.
Yeah, it's just like a still from the film.
Yeah. But just like oh, I have proof that we were together, so it's gonna be like things are sketchier. She goes out and they play the song. I started like cheering. I started to play the song.
Yes, yeah. So, listeners, now at time of recording, the first episode of this show has now been released. If you have been listening to this show for the past 7 episodes and have been like, what is the song that they're using for the theme? Shouldn't they be using like kind of like a thriller kind of music, a little suspenseful? That's the song. We mentioned it in The Wrong Child and The Wrong Student. It's this
Yeah.
weird like little guitar number, synthesizer number kind of, that they
like
play in some of these movies.
some like lyrics kick in vaguely,
Yeah.
and it sounds almost Christian rock, which is very
It
funny to
does.
me.
Who is this by?
I tried to do like a song identify thing. I uploaded. I'll rip it from this one as well. But I uploaded the one filled with sounds from The Wrong Student and the one that was pretty clean from The Wrong Child, and got no hits from a like Shazam like website. Maybe I'll just use the like song identification on my phone next time to try and find it because I want to find the actual song.
Yeah. While we talk, I'm real quick going to look through the credits of the movie to see if it.
I
It is
did
credit
try
to that
that,
song.
and I could not
You
find
did?
anything.
Ah.
I tried that with both The Wrong Child and The Wrong Student. I haven't tried it with
Damn.
this one, but
Yeah, probably not. Anyway.
yeah, she's like getting weirded out by the guy, and she like goes out with her friend and still thinking about uh doing him in the classroom, and she like leaves to go see Alan Cypher when Chris like gets a number from her roommate, and when she goes to see her boyfriend, they have like a real steamy actual chemistry like
Yeah.
dry humping scene against the door.
Again.
Like getting way more steamy than I
Fairly
thought they would
risque.
for these. Like
Yeah. Telling the line,
I
David.
know you can get away with a lot more on cable. Like cable is a little bit less restrictive than network television, but I didn't know you could
I
go
guess
this
so.
far.
Yeah. And then Chris shows up at the studio after she leaves.
Yeah, like right after. Another line I wrote down because it, I thought it might have implied something more than them just having sex, was if you did that, you could share a meal with me. It's like, did she do something like, I don't know, something more than just usual sex acts?
I don't know. I think that's kind of a normal, like, buy me dinner first kind of thing.
But it seems also that this has him being like, all right, I'm all in on her now. I've found the error of my ways. But yeah, Chris shows up to buy some photos from him, in
There's some
quotes.
energy between them.
Yeah, they're like, maybe it's just the way that Philip McElroy acts, but he does seem like vaguely flirty with every single line delivery, and I don't know if that's
Yeah.
intentional or if he just doesn't know to turn that off. Because
Who's to say?
even in like scenes he's talking to Charlotte, it's like, I don't know if that's the right tone you should be using, buddy. You sound less scary than you should.
Yeah. Later on, or like the next day or something, who is it that she has a conversation with? Is it Chris that like it super implies or not outright, if not outright states to Eric Roberts that they had sex?
So they're like talking, and he walks in as like says something about her being like wrapped around him,
Mm.
and Eric Roberts is like, "Hey, what the fuck is going on? I already told you that's bad."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's like, we're going to separate you two.
Yeah,
And
which,
she still decides to lie about what happened. Like, you've been caught.
yeah, like, like he overheard it. Like, why try it? And then she's like, she has more like meetups with him, and some that are like more casual, just like, hey, here's my
Yeah.
story, whatever, that are like nice and happier. It's like, we see, if I get seen talking to each other, I'm gonna get in trouble, lose my job. Stop then. Tell him to go away.
Yeah. Tell an authority figure.
You do not know that he has the capabilities of doing what he is going to do later in the movie.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
because of this, Chris like goes to the school after dark and confronts Eric Roberts' character, and we get the drop that like his Eric Roberts lost his wife recently.
In the most fucking brutal way they could have delivered this line, where he says something vaguely like cranky, and Vivica is like, and I thought he was cranky before his wife died. Fucking assholes.
Yeah. But
You were saying.
yeah, Chris like confronts him, is like, you're not gonna transfer me, and pulls out a gun and like points it at him.
Yeah.
And then when Charlotte gets to school, which already that's not how this would go. If we find out that at least the story that has gotten out about it is that he shot himself in his car, and there's no fucking way a teacher of the school would find out about this at the school. She would get a like message as soon as the news was found, because Vivica A. Fox already
Yeah.
knows, which means they found the body probably at the latest,
Immediately.
like sunrise would be my guess. Is like, that's the absolute latest that they found a guy in his car, dead from a gunshot wound, because makes a loud noise. I don't know. It's by a school. Cops patrol by there,
It was
especially
at
in
the bar.
California. Oh, is that the bar? I thought it was at the school with
I think
Eric
it was
Roberts.
at the bar because I remember him being like kind of tipsy too.
Oh, okay. Even more ridiculous then, because yeah, someone would have heard it, but they would have sent out calls, text messages, whatever. I uh, I would say listeners, don't tell us if something like this happened at your school, because that sounds like
Yeah, I don't.
not good. But like, I feel like they'd cancel school if something like that happened, right? Like, uh,
Yeah, there would be a meeting about it, an announcement. I don't know.
I would say one of the teachers, faculty wouldn't find out from another member of the faculty as they're walking to their class. I don't know.
Yeah. Uh, can we talk about Charlotte being like, how did he do it? Like, I know that she's asking that question because we as the audience need to hear that he allegedly died via suicide by gunshot.
Yeah.
But wow, Charlotte, that's not the question that you ask. What
No,
immediately after hearing that someone you knew
absolutely
took their own
not.
life? You freak.
That's terrible. It cuts from her finding that out to dinner that night with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Who uh they're just having like a date. I don't know. I thought like Chris or someone was gonna show up as a waiter, which would be awesome. I think if this was
Yeah.
if this was like a theatrically released thriller, I think that would be the case. I think he would be
Mhm.
showing up in other facets of her life as well, in situations where she can't say anything and the other person doesn't know. Um,
Mhm.
but it's just a date at a nice restaurant, and he's just being like nice boyfriend, has dessert show up, and then swaps the plate, and there's a ring on the strawberry. I'm like, oh boy, a marriage proposal. uh, but then we see Chris like watching off through some trees in the usual guy in the bushes attire of black shirt, black hoodie.
Yeah, of course.
She tells her roommate about the situation with Chris, because it's like, turns out he's my student.
I can't imagine not having a support system who you would tell somebody like right away about
Yeah,
this. Maybe that's
like,
just the type of person that I am, but I can't imagine waiting like probably at least a week before telling your roommate, your
yeah.
friend.
It's like, I understand her like fears of losing her job, but I feel like if I had a bad mess up like that, there's a couple people I'd be fine with telling that I know
Yeah.
it would not disseminate elsewhere. But I like her her roommate's response. She's like, yeah, he showed up, he's like at my school, and she's like, as like a teacher's assistant, or it's she's just like, yeah, Alan Cipher proposed to me, and I'm probably not going to tell him. He doesn't need to know. It was like a thing that I don't think is going to get worse. And then she has a quick meeting with Chris that's like, she should be telling this kid to fuck off, but she's like, fine, just eat your lunch really fast, where she learns that, like, about his parents being dead and everything. Um,
Because of
and
course
then,
they're dead.
yeah, this is happening. Is like, they should have like gotten ahead of all this. Like, fuck. He's like, yeah, I'll buy. I thought about it, couldn't just make decisions because my mom. I'll buy some of your photos. I'll buy this one and this one and this one. Now let's go have a beer
Mhm.
on it. And they go to a bar where Alan Cypher's wearing a fascinating hat for this one scene.
Yeah. Fucking pork pie hat.
Yeah, it doesn't fit him at all. It like does not suit him whatsoever. It almost comes across as like he was walking past wardrobe for the scenes, be like, this will be fun.
Yeah.
That vibe. And Chris gets a beer, so he's not gonna think that this is one of his now fiance's students. But
Hmm. He has a fake ID, by the way.
yeah, Chris like goes off, and then a lady walks by, looks off camera like she's getting direction, which she's probably getting direction from Chris to make sure that's the right guy and everything.
Yeah.
Runs up to him and says, "Oh my God, I'm glad you're back in town," and then starts like making out with him. And as soon as this happens, like, oh, Chris is gonna get pictures and send them to Charlotte.
Yeah.
And this is even more of a like, I know Charlotte should just get ahead and like do whatever she can to get away from Chris, and so at least more people know about what happened. This is something that if I was her now fiance and this happened to me, I would immediately text me like, "Hey, this crazy weird thing happened to me. If anything
Yeah.
comes out about it, that's not what happened. If you see anything from it, like, like I would immediately be like, hey, whoa, I'm texting my girlfriend slash fiance. Something weird happened because the longer wait it takes for her to find out, the more suspicious it comes across.
Yeah. And like the thing is that he basically immediately leaves the bar
Yeah,
and calls Charlotte and is like, I had a weird night. Can I come over? And
yeah,
I thought he was going to be sensible and just tell her what happened right away. But
yeah.
he didn't. He tells her about Chris going to buy a photo and then like bailing,
Yeah.
which isn't that weird.
Oh yeah, and while they're having the beer, he he's like telling about she's like, yeah, I just recently got a new girl. She's also a teacher.
God.
Yeah, and she gets the photo, uh, and
It gets texted to her.
yeah, it gets texted to her, and then kicks him out, and then she's like sad for a little bit, and then she goes to confront him because she's like getting more weird text messages, and she's starting to put together that maybe Chris is doing all this. So she goes to like tell him about it, and he gets like justifiably bad also of like, hold on, you were telling me you were getting like mad at me about all this and you wouldn't hear me out. Now you're telling me you went and like slept with this guy? Like what's going on here? Now you need to be the one who leaves.
We were on a break.
Yeah, that's exactly what she said. Well, we were on a break.
Yeah. There's also a line in here. I think it's this scene where it's ADR'd and it's not Jessica Morris doing that line.
Oh?
It's some woman, but that's not Jessica Morris.
I didn't even pick up on that.
I've gotten very picky about ADR when watching movies these days. I don't know why.
Then the next day at school, she's like more focused in on it, and she's like, I think you killed the vice president. You killed Eric Roberts. If you keep stalking me and say whatever, I'm going to let everyone know what happened. Just let's stay away, and we'll all be happy if we just leave this alone. And he's just looking at it like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that. You're the one who banged your student. Whatever. The movie then goes to a place I never imagined any of these movies would go. I did not think that like
Yeah.
it would reach this level. She goes, okay, we're gonna watch Act 1 of the movie version of Romeo and Juliet. Now pull out your phones and connect to the school network. And I'm like, what's going on? They're going to watch on their phones,
Which is bonkers.
yeah, I'm like, I've never heard of this. Even with like schools that handed out laptops, I don't think I've ever heard of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's gonna watch on the individual laptop instead of the projector that every single classroom I've ever been in has been fitted with.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are you doing? I know that it's a plot device, but still.
Yeah. And I think you get the same effect. Honestly, it feels even more embarrassing if it's like plastered up. I think it creates like a visual language.
Yeah.
Like, everyone can see it, but I think they do it specifically for something that happens right after. But Chris has somehow gotten into the school network and is broadcasting the scene of them having sex. I say the scene of them having sex in the classroom because it's not shot in a way of like he sneakily recorded it. Which how did he even have the opportunity to record it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. They didn't think that far, but everyone sees it. And the girl who complained about reading the play being boring says it's on the school Twitter page.
Why does he have access to the Twitter page? And also, I think Robert Dean Klein, the writer, seems to think that Twitter and Facebook are basically interchangeable. Because to
You
me,
know,
if you said this is on the school Facebook page, I would be like, that makes sense.
yes, the parents are gonna see it there.
Yeah.
The school Twitter
And of
page,
course, as
I don't know.
Vivica A. Fox says, the community is going to come after you on social media.
Yeah. And that's where we get the social media fear mongering, which is, I think, why they broadcasted it onto the phones. Is she goes, well, at least
Yeah.
it's taken down off of the school Twitter page. She's like, well, you know, the internet, nothing's ever truly deleted off of there. And it's for the mom to go, I hope my kid is not uploading unsavory things onto social media because you can never get rid of it.
You know that like 5 of those little pervs downloaded that video right away.
Absolutely, yes. Someone immediately uploaded it to like 4chan or something. Like, hey, look what happened to my
Yeah.
school. Like, and then she like Vivica leaves the office and Charlotte hops on the computer to. I immediately was like, is she stealing Chris's address from the computer?
Yeah.
What's good? That's what she does. His house, which seems to be like a detached unit, like a pool house or something like that in someone's backyard.
Yeah.
Kind of just like sifts through his stuff. He has pictures of her at the bookstore, which this is what I was starting to wonder if we were going to get into someone hired him territory. We never did,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also unclear how he got fascinated with her unless something came up that I missed because
I don't
uh
think so.
we see pictures from of the woman from the beginning of the movie that she finds and like when going through it too there's some that are very clearly like pictures from the actress's personal like Facebook or Instagram or something, which I thought was fun, like her performing like at karaoke or something.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a picture of her with another woman and she like leaves because she hears um Chris coming back and she like takes a locket and she uses this information to find his old school and to like try and find more information from him about him. And the person she talks to first is like, I can't just give you information about a former student. Like that's ridiculous. It's like, yeah, you can't. Um, but she gets to talk to the woman who is in the photo with the one from the opening scene, and this woman's like, "Oh, you had sex with him, didn't you?" What?
Yeah.
Huh? Which made me think is like, is this a regular thing that's happening to this guy? Because also, she talks to a guidance counselor after this, who she immediately knows. It's like,
Yeah.
is this like a repeated pattern for this guy?
Yeah, she's like, you slept with him too? Yeah, I do think it's implied that he's basically a predator. I mean, he's literally a predator. Um, and the fact that the guidance counselor in particular is like, you slept with him too? It's like, you are the worst offender here of like covering this shit up.
Yeah.
This should have been on like every fucking file for
Yeah.
him,
Mm-hmm.
uh, including probably his rap sheet. We find out the deal with Chris. Chris's backstory is that his parents died in a plane crash, which I'm sorry for laughing. That's just the most hilarious way you could have chosen for his parents to die. Not a car crash. Not
It feels so
you know.
detached. Like
Yeah.
a plane crash in the modern day. I suppose 2025 is a bad year to be saying this, but
Yeah.
a
I don't
plane
know.
crash feels like unless you're like super rich or your parents are like very specific, like like they're aviation enthusiasts or something.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have that same impact now as it would have like 40, 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And it feels like detached because I hear that I think of like and my mind immediately goes to like a private plane or like
Mm,
something like that, like a very small like luxury plane, and not a like Boeing 747 crashing.
yeah. No, I agree. It felt like so weird that they picked that one. I guess they were already like, we did fire. What are other ways that parents die? Plane crash?
Yeah.
Um So after his parents died, he got really attached to this elementary school teacher that he had, who was just like very, very kind to him. She was also blonde, um, much like Jessica Morris, and I think her name is Beth, the other
Yeah.
victim. Except she always had her hair up in a ponytail, and she had a southern accent, which
So
I don't know how you know that.
yeah, that's odd. When this happened, there's something I wrote down at the beginning of the movie because it's the last name they mentioned, and I was like, "Oh, how is she gonna factor this movie?" And this is where I thought she'd come in. I thought Dee
D. Wallace.
Wallace was going to be the teacher. Like, if you're gonna get any kind of name, some people something recognized. I looked up to see where she's from. She's been an actress for a long time, so it wouldn't really matter. But she's from like Kansas City or something. It's like maybe she has a
She's the
natural
mom in
Southern
E.T.
accent. Yeah, exactly. That's why I wrote it down. I was like, why is the mom from ET in this? Which is kind of a dumb question because she's only done like exploitation B movie trash except for ET, one of the most like famous movies ever made.
That's so funny.
Like she's in
Um,
tons of like cheap movies, like not even that long after ET. She's in cheap movies.
I'm excited to talk about D. Wallace later because I got a lot of fucking thoughts about her role in this film. So this teacher then moved away. Chris, who they say has a lot of love or a lot of rage that he must mistake for love, basically kept seeking her out in other teachers, and that turned into like a pathological sexual obsession with blonde women. Which like, ooh, me too, buddy. And his last victim, Beth, the woman from the beginning, was found strangled in her home, and for some fucking reason, her like best friend at the school, and who is on the poster of this movie for some reason, even though she is only in this scene, um, and the guidance counselor who also knew about this relationship that they had did not tell the police like, hey, they like just broke up or something. You should talk to this kid who is unstable.
Yeah, I think the thing that they said that like kind of not really explained the like not looking at this kid response was like she apparently had like a boyfriend who was abusive, so that they just wrote it off
Mm,
as it being that guy. But I don't know. I feel like if I was her friend who knew about her being with a student who had obsessive tendencies and scary behavior, I would let the police know, hey, there's this guy. Look
yeah.
into him.
If that was my best friend, I would simply never stop until somebody was brought to justice.
Yeah.
But, maybe I'm just a better friend than these people. Charlotte calls Alan Cypher after this and explains the situation to him. And he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill that kid. He gets a gun out of his drawer.
Yeah. Whenever
And
they pull out guns in these movies, I start laughing really hard. I
me
I, I
too.
feel like it's just these movies don't feel like they need to or will go to the escalation that guns bring. It's this is a dumb tangent, but it's something I think about a lot because I played through all of the Yakuza slash Like a Dragon games, and I don't think it's an intended thing. But because those games are often described as like Japanese Grand Theft Auto, which is a bad comparison. It's just kind of like a big map and in Japan. But
Mhm.
whenever guns show up in those games, it's a big deal because like can't really get guns in Japan. And whenever you
Yeah.
like fight a guy with a gun and you get shot, your character will like clutch their side and like fall to the ground, and it's like a super long stun, and it's frustrating. And you do that as a contrast to Grand Theft Auto, where you can just like run down the street while someone shoots you with like a minigun, and your guy like
Yeah.
goes as he's taking damage, but it doesn't like impact you. And I think that's a interesting like maybe unintended commentary on how two countries view guns. And that's why these kinds of movies like extra pop out at me when they have guns, because I feel like even though it's a country that loves guns, the audience for these I feel like are like suburban moms who are probably a little uneasy around guns. So when they see that, even
Yeah.
if it's like the good guy have one, they're gonna be like, oh no.
Yeah, it is a shock for me every time. And it is also just so goofy. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't think anything will top the last movies that
Oh my god.
I was hoping we'd get something similar to that. It's kind of close, but nothing. I don't know if we'll reach that level of how that one ended. But it just felt like
Probably not.
it just felt extra crazy that he just keeps a gun in his photography studio at the ready in California.
Now that's what I call a professional shoot.
Good one.
Thank you. Then Chris goes on a date with her roommate and fucking roofies her. Which like I'm not victim blaming here, but you really like ordered a drink, and then this guy that you don't know at all, you said like, you didn't even say, hey, watch my drink, you said, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I don't, that's just, you gotta be better about that, girl.
And that's a pretty crowded bar. There's a guy working behind the bar
Yeah.
counter. There's no way that person didn't fucking see him pull out this bag of stuff to pour a drink. It's number 2 of like the worst. Like everyone in here is doing a bad job at protecting this woman. The only movie I've seen that's worse is a movie called Fight of Fury, by a my writer, director, star, producer, my favorite combo where they do everything. He like battles sex traffickers, and with like the main girl he saves at the beginning of the movie, she like tells the story of what happened to her and her friends, and it's like a flashback to them out at, it's supposed to be like a nice dinner or like a bar or something. It just looks like a local pizza place. And these guys come over to these girls having like a girls' night with wine, and they're like, yeah, sure. And he's like, all right, we're gonna have some fun. And then they like pull out powder and pour it into their drinks in front of them, and the girls go, woo, and drink it. And it's like,
Okay.
this guy has no fucking clue what he is doing writing this, because this looks horrible for like no one worked to stop this. No one's like that oblivious. Like, you can't write stuff like this because it makes people go, what's going on?
Yeah. And speaking of what the fuck are people doing in this movie and what's going on, Chris like tries to get the roommate Maddie out of the bar, and she's like kind of slumped up against a wall, and the like line cook at this bar comes out and he's like, is she okay? And Chris is like, oh yeah, she's had too many, you know. And he's like, oh yeah, I know, been there, done that, I'm about to be there right now. And it's like, who are you?
And with his been there, done that, is he supposed to be saying that as he's been that drunk? Or he's dealt with women who are that drunk? Or even worse, he's given a subtle nod, like, yeah, I've done that before. Don't worry, buddy, I got your back. Like, it's because I don't know, but like, I don't know. I feel I have a bad time like speaking up of things sometimes. But I feel like in a bar setting, I would be like, no, this looks really bad. I need to like quadruple septuple check-in to make sure it's not as bad as it comes across.
Yeah, I would really need to talk to that woman.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know why you would ask that guy if she's okay. You
Yeah.
ask her if she's okay.
Yeah.
Men.
And then there's like 10 minutes of the movie left. Uh
As always.
yeah. Uh he like cuz he took out her fiance and she like comes to him, she calls for help for him, and then he video calls, or sort of like half video calls Charlotte to be like, "Hey, you need to come meet me at the school and don't try nothing because I have your roommate in my car." It's like, I'll get rid of her if you do something. It's like, "Oh, here's the finale stakes. Someone's being held hostage, and
Yep.
how are they going to confront how are they going to get him out of it, like always?" And
How many of these end in a hostage situation? All of them?
pretty much.
Wrong roommate, yes. Wrong child, yes. Wrong student, yes. Wrong crush, I think. I don't remember much about that one. Wrong man?
Wrong man.
That's not a hostage situation. He just confronts her, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think no, Grandpa isn't really at risk when that one happens.
Yeah. Wrong friend. Wrong cruise. And yeah, this one. So it's like fucking like 7 out of 8.
Yeah. And they have just like the usual confrontation. He like flashes the gun, be like, "I got a gun. I can't stop thinking about me and you." And the story's gonna end, like Romeo and Juliet, like you're talking about to the class. It's like, oh no. This is a
hack writing.
uncomfortable turn to
yeah.
we just get the usual they're able to distract him and get the gun out of his hand.
It really, like, Chris is like, "Oh, we're gonna have a fucking suicide pact. You get to pick either gun or pills."
Oh yeah, like, I recommend the pills.
Yeah, then she fucking pistol whips him.
Yeah.
And then, so she takes her roommate out of the room, and they're in the school hallway, and she's like, "Take the gun," which she would not be lucid enough for this. Essentially, if you see him, shoot him, but I've got a plan. Jessica Morris, Charlotte, she is at like the top of a staircase when he turns the corner trying to chase them, and she's got a ponytail up, and she's like, "Oh, hi, Chris. I always remember you. Why don't you just put the gun down? And maybe I can come and love you. I've always relied on the kindness of strangers."
Yeah, she does Friday the 13th Part 2. Sorry for spoilers for Friday the 13th Part 2, a like 40-year-old movie at this point. The ending of that movie, because Friday the 13th Part 1 is my favorite thing to like let people know about it. Jason wasn't in that one except for a dream sequence at the end of the movie. Jason doesn't show up until Part 2. He doesn't get his mask
I know that
until
because of Scream.
Part 3. But the end of Friday the 13th Part 2 is they find, like, after Jason's killing everyone, he has the severed head of his mom on like a shrine, because that's what happens to his mom at the end of the first one, because she's actually the killer. And she like puts on the sweater she was wearing and starts talking to him like, "You're a good boy, Jason," before killing him, in quotes, because Jason has died more times than almost any villain in any movie franchise ever has. And so she does that, which is fascinating.
Yeah, the roommate sneaks up behind him, pistol whips him again, gives Jessica Morris the gun, and he starts to come after them, and she shoots him in the leg. And then we get an epilogue that confused me. Like,
yeah.
as to why it was there. It's like a sequel bait.
Yeah, it's the most sequel bait one we've gotten because we get like quick 30 seconds of her at the bookstore
Oh yeah,
showing off her book,
City Lights
which
books.
is which is My Deadly Student by Charlotte Hanson. It has a as like a silhouette, which I think is actually their silhouette, kissing, and then it has them her like apple with a bite taken out of it, but there's like blood coming from the bite, which is fun. Uh,
Graphic design is my passion.
yeah.
So then we get the Dee Wallace starring role. She's billed prominently, kind of.
Yeah.
Like she gets an and Dee Wallace. She's in this scene and this scene only, where Chris is in a psychiatric hospital, which looks like an interrogation room. They've like kidified him, which I find gross. Like he's
I'm surprised it took him this long to do this kind of thing in one of these movies, but
yeah.
it comes across worse than I would have expected it in any of the movies to do this.
Yeah. Like I honestly I don't remember if I praised the wrong student for like I don't know how subtle her mental illness was in comparison to most of these. But like this is abysmal, quite frankly. And he's like coloring. So Dee Wallace is a psychiatrist, and she comes in and she's like, we can integrate you back into society, Chris, if you take these medications. And I think she's like also trying to make him think that she's his old teacher. He like takes his medication and then she leaves the room and he like takes the pills out from under his tongue, which I think that they're a little more thorough about making sure you actually take your medicine in a psych hospital.
Yeah.
Especially one for people who are like instituted for criminal purposes against their will.
Yeah, I feel like they make you, I don't know, after you take them, open up to show that they're not hiding in like under your tongue or something.
Yeah. And then they show that he's drawing like himself and the teacher, and actually what was kind of a really nice drawing skill wise. I kind of thought it would look like the one from The Wrong Friend.
Yeah.
What is the purpose of this scene? Like I know it's an epilogue, but like why are you sequel baiting? And it makes me wonder if like I know that it's not, because I know that none of these movies are connected. But The Wrong Mommy, The Wrong Mommy, also has Dee Wallace listed as an actress, and is also written by Robert Dean Kline. And I'm like, is that a weird sequel or like pseudo sequel? I don't think it is, but that's my like long called shot. There's something there.
Yeah. He also shows up in, he has a credit for the like spin-off miniseries Keeping Up with the Joneses. And I wonder if he plays bad guy in one of those.
Maybe. I have no idea really what that series is about. I'm interested when we get to it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's such a odd ending because they don't normally end on they even if they don't have like a great wrap up, seems like things are done.
Yeah. The Lifetime movies don't get sequels. You tell your story in one shot, or you don't tell your story, quite frankly. It's just such a it's just another way that this movie is weird in comparison to the other ones. Like cinemagraphically, in terms of how disjointed the story is, the acting's kind of weird. The sets aren't really that weird, but there are a couple of sets that are like, and then like the extras all act off. Like there are some EMTs later, um, who once I don't know if we mentioned Alan Cypher getting hit in the head with a bat by Chris, but like EMTs rush in, they're like, "We got this," and they have some like kind of very loud background lines.
Yeah.
Um, it's weird.
It has like a lot of these elements are kind of what make it feel less like a Lifetime movie compared to the rest of them, and it feels like it's teetering on that line more like David Dakota's other work of like just home like cheap VHS releases to fill the shelves because someone, the guy who goes to the video store every weekend, has run through all the good stuff, so he's gonna start grabbing
Mm-hmm.
things.
Yeah, yeah. So, Dory, what'd you think of this movie? How many wrong teachers would you give this? Oh, we forgot to say, after Jessica Morris shoots him in the leg, she says, "You messed with the wrong teacher."
Yeah.
And actually, I want to take a second because the title I've mentioned before makes no fucking sense to me in line with how the other movies are titled.
Yeah.
Um, like this one should have been the wrong student, and the other one should have been like the wrong soccer player or something.
Like the wrong obsession, maybe.
Yeah. Oh well, we get that in 2025.
Yeah.
But
The wrong teacher, I think, at the most like loose way I can think to attach to it is he's stuck on a teacher and then he obsesses with other teachers. They're the wrong ones. It's not.
yeah, I guess they
not
are
very
all
strong.
literally not the teacher that he seems to think they are.
Yeah, it's not very good, but it's the closest I can get.
But also, here's the thing. You know, we refer to like the villains or like the predators in this movie as wrongs, right?
Yeah, they're the wrongs, and they have established at this point that, except for like the wrong crews, but they're patrons of the crews that make it wrong.
Yeah.
Not the cruise itself.
Jessica Morris in this movie has wrong qualities.
She does, yeah.
She you know, sleeps with an not an underage student. Everyone be cool. He's 18. But like sleeps with a student and breaks into his house and stuff. And like
Yeah.
there's some bits in there where it kind of feels like she is like kind of borderline also maybe the wrong here. Is that victim blaming? I don't know. But I'm trying to justify the title because it's so like syntactically different from the other films. Like it's not that this is the wrong roommate for you. It's that they messed with the wrong teacher.
Yeah.
So fucking bizarre. How many wrong teachers would you give this out of 5?
1.5 to 2. I feel like in the back half it really drags. And it's just there's not a lot of like goofiness to it that has made some of the other ones fun. I do think that like the like absurdity of her putting on the like southern accent at the end was very funny to me because it came out like someone, I don't know if this is the only way I think to word it, someone doing a southern accent versus having or acting a southern accent. Similar to the distinction I made with the last movie, how they were doing a good job of acting like friends breaking up for other people to watching on to do. But I think the stuff that like makes this stand out for me is just the fact that they went places I didn't think these would go. Him broadcasting them having sex in the classroom to everyone's phones is nuts. That's like
it is
way farther than I thought they'd take it, and I sort of commend them for getting away with it.
Yeah, I mean I mean the I also give this like a 1.5. It's really it's well made but also poorly made. Like
Yeah.
they put their skill points into the wrong things. Um and it's just it doesn't work for me. I think that the fact that she's a writer comes up like 3 times, yet is so kind of weirdly crucial to her character. Um, the boyfriend, you can lift him right out of this film, uh, and the roommate as well. It's like there's so many disparate elements of it that don't really come together, and it's I mean it's bonkers in a lot of places, like you said, but it's not this wouldn't be my go-to wrong movie for somebody to watch. That is still the wrong student.
Yeah,
Um,
I have. It's gonna take a while for that one to come down. I think.
yeah,
Maybe when we get to like the silly ones, like Wedding Planner. But I don't know if
yeah,
those will. I'm keep hoping for something to be as like fun as the guy doing knife moves in the mirror. I want the absurdity of that combined with the ending of the last movie from like
yeah.
the knife moves from the wrong crush and the ending of the wrong friend. Um
A little bit bombastic.
yeah, I want it to be like that over the top level because I I know realistically it's not what he would set out to do because the main reason he's hired to do these movies is David Dakota has a history of being able to produce movies as cheaply as possible, as fast as possible, so that and then he's able to pocket whatever's left of the budget to use it for more movies. And Lifetime is like, that's awesome. You can make a bunch of them with that method, and it helps everyone out. But if I were
Yeah.
him, venturing from the VHS market where my studio makes movies like The Ginger Dead Man or Evil Bong, I would I would go the very unprofessional route of how far can I like push the boundaries of like what they're gonna do? How far can I go before they like go? This is a little silly or this is a little much. I would want to push that boundary, and I hope
Yeah.
that he does that at some point.
Do you think it's Lifetime that reels him in, or do you think it's Vivica who's a producer on all of these films?
Hmm. I did notice that that's what she's starting to get like slash credits on like the listings of her character name slash producer. So
Mhm.
I feel like she might, but she's also been in like a Tarantino film. So I feel like
Mm.
she'd be more understanding or like going along with it than Lifetime. But it's hard to say because Lifetime also has crap like Pregnancy Pact, which I've watched, or Deadly Mile High Club, which at some point if we if we deviate off of these when we wait for more of them to come out because surely more are happening, we might have to visit some other Lifetime movies.
Yeah, we'll talk about I don't know the choking game or something, which stars a Degrassi actor.
Yeah.
Um, so thrills. Certainly some thrills in this movie. Like you said, with the streaming their sex
Yeah.
to everyone.
I also
Um,
think that him showing up as a student, even though as soon as they had the date and everything, is like this is what's gonna happen.
yeah,
Um that's the most like thrilled I have felt from any of these movies. Like seeing that happens, like, oh, that is horrific. That's like terrifying
yeah,
to happen. It's maybe it's the most like realistic the terror has been to me.
yeah,
Partially because I don't foresee myself having a mysterious kid who pops up or any of the other scenarios. But this one, I was like, oh, that's because that's taking the like fear of I think almost anyone has had of like having a weird date or something and then going, oh, they know what I do for work. And this is like me also having worked at a small business in a smaller town where a girl who's being weird on Tinder or something could just show up at my work because it's not that hard to find it. And so it's like it's taking a fear that I had at one point and elevating it further.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Subtle homoeroticism. Chris and Adam Cipher had some fucking energy in
Yeah.
their scenes together.
We got both of them shirtless, so
Yeah.
they should have been
Gothic
shirtless in a
horror.
scene together. That's what I'll
They
say.
should have. When will David indulge us? Lifetime is shackling him.
Absolutely.
And gothic horror, I don't know, he's got dead parents, and there's like a kind of a ghost of someone who really affected him in his youth hovering around him in a way.
Yeah.
I think that's it. What's your final thoughts on The Wrong Teacher?
Bad name for the movie. I feel like they did it so they could get her line of after she shot him. But I don't know. This one feels pretty skippable. I'm looking forward to The Wrong Stepmother.
Yeah.
The biggest reason because it has Corin Nemec in it, who was Parker Lewis in the short sitcom Parker Lewis Can't Lose, and I love young sitcom actors doing roles as an adult. It's always funny to me.
Yeah. We're also getting some fresh blood with that one.
Yeah,
Because the guy who wrote this next one has not written one before or since, so we will see. But until we meet The Wrong Stepmother, Jory, where can people find you online?
You can find me anywhere Jories are found at No I'm Jory, besides Blue Sky, which is jory.zone. You can see posts about horse girls. You can see posts about my dog, food, other stuff I'm doing. I've got my other podcast, We Are Watching One Piece, where shows weekly as episodes come out. At the time of recording this episode, my co-host moved to Montreal for their master's program, so they're on a little bit of a break. So if you notice the gap in the episodes, that's why. On the Patreon, we're covering 4Kids finally after 9 years, and that being like 90% of the reason we know each other. the like weird dominoes falling of me podcasting is someone doing a cover of the One Piece rap at one point. So we're finally digging into that. What about you? Where can we find you online?
You can find me on Blue Sky at Punkdyke, PUNKDYKE. Can't believe nobody had that and can't believe nobody streamed me getting that even though I asked them repeatedly to do that instead of reading Romeo and Juliet. And you can find the show on Blue Sky at Wrong Podcasts.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
We got it.
Bad goof on my part. Have the wrong podcast up bluesky.social, and then having to fix my computer, none of the cookies or email or stuff for that account got saved, so I had to redo it, and I felt like a huge dummy because I'm regularly complaining about people who can't remember their passwords, and I tried the password that we have for this account in different formats, and that was not it. It's like, I don't know what else I could have put it as.
What's funny is that back in the day for Three Little Words, we set up a Twitter originally, and then we lost that one too. So we had to be, instead of Three Little Words, we had to be 3LW Podcast. But yeah, you can also find me streaming weekly with our friend Jay. We're playing through we're playing through a bunch of the Final Fantasy games. Currently working on number 4.
Yeah, the point is the numbered mainline ones, right?
Basically. We're going to be jumping around too.
Yeah. Oh wow,
But
two franchises with same name for most of the entries, but they're very different, but share some similar things as well. Interesting.
so true. When are we gonna get a Sid? Is Vivica our Sid?
Basically. That's what
All
number
right.
29 needs to be, is the wrong RPG.
Yeah, a hip one. We gotta pitch it. Well, until next time, I guess you just listened to the wrong podcast.
I can't recover from this spell I'm under, but you could be my one escape.
Hey CJ, is that Gahooligans promo ready yet?
Sure is, PB. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Hello, owlets! I can hear your beaks churring with the who's, the whys, and other forbidden questions about Catherine Lasky's Guardians of Gahool. Join us, the Gahooligans, twice every dwanking in the Great Blue Yonder for some Glocks-given spronk, some laughter therapy, and some subglossus ransacking of literary merit.
Okay, I only understood about a third of that. And did you use an owl swear in there?
No? You didn't do the assigned reading?
No, that's your job, CJ. I'm just here for the owl facts.
Well, we'll have to work on your vocabulary.
I guess you'll have to teach me every other week on Gahooligans. Only on the Moonshot Network.
Journey to distant realms. Explore the furthest reaches of the universe. Survive deadly dangers. Experience matters of the heart and more in a new actual play podcast. Join me, Audrey. That's right, just me, as I play tabletop games designed for one player. From journaling games to tarot games to even games that take me outside, I'm bringing you along for the ride. Join me for every episode of Alone at the Table.